Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the author, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the Northwest Mansion Mystery, the new episode that just premiered on Disney XD. I just saw the episode literally seconds ago. Unfortunately, I was at work, so I didn't get to see the live premiere, but I just saw it, I just downloaded the episode, just saw it, and it is phenomenal. The ending, especially, like for those who have seen it, you obviously know that is incredible. What's going on? They're hyping it up. It's all gonna go down very soon in the next episode, probably, and I can't freaking wait. So here, let's get right into the video. First off, with the codes, here we go. All right, everybody. So this first code is the end card that is part of the journal. Comes after at the end of every episode, in case you forgot, since it's been a long time since we've seen another Gravity Falls episode. But nonetheless, here we go. So this first code, when translated through the cipher, translates to: Stan is not what he seems. Stan is not what he seems. Now, something interesting about this, you can see Stan's hat down there at the bottom. Now, it says it repeatedly. All of those codes, 5, 4, 23, 10, 15, 5, and so on, that, like, those whole codes in the red numbers translates to Stan is not what he seems. It says it on his hat, literally. So, take that for what you will, but that showcases, first and foremost, something we've seen reoccurring through Gravity Falls numerous times, is that Stan is not what he seems. He is hiding something. I mean, it's clear he's hiding the portal in his basement. What else is he hiding? What's in the portal? What has he been trying to do? And that'll go into more of what happens towards the end of this episode, which is going to be the main focus of this video. But let's get in real quick to the second code, which comes at the very end of the episode right here. Alright, so the next code in the episode is the very end code during the credits. That's this one on screen, and the key for this code, I've explained how to use the key in a previous video, but the key that's in this episode that you can find to solve this cipher is cursed. Now, that is on the windows of the Northwest Manor towards the very start of the episode. This was actually shown in trailers of the episode before the actual episode even came out, so on forums and things like that, especially, you know, the Gravity Falls subreddit, the code was actually already known, so it made it a bit easier this episode. But nonetheless, here we go. The translation is: next up on Utbach, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but did aliens write the Constitution, crawdads in tiaras, and Florida the show? Now, I honestly have not really any idea what it means, but it's going to involve some... I feel like with the aliens of the Constitution thing, the only thing I can get out of this one is that it has something to do with President Gravity, or President of the United States, that we've seen in previous episodes. That's the only thing I can piece from that, possibly involving the babies that were part of the Constitution, who were in Congress. That could involve something, but at the very least, that's something. But if you have any ideas what this is, because honestly I could use some help, write in the comments below, because I have no idea what this means. It's so weird. But nonetheless, here's the code. So let's hop into the next part of this episode. All right, let's hop into this next part. So this next part, I'm going to be talking about the agents in this episode. Now, it's very interesting because this correlates with a lot of different things. I'm just going to get into all of them really quickly. So first off, the agents in this episode appear twice. First off, they appear when Mr. Northwest is greeting some of the guests to the house. He greets the mayor. He greets, you know, the basketball player. But there's two people who, you know, if you were like looking closely, you know, they kind of stand out for the fact that this guy has, you know, like that big fake mustache and, you know, all of that. So these are actually the agents in disguise, as you find out later in the episode. Now, at the end of the episode, we see the two agents speaking. They go into a closet and they're talking together, and they mention that the machine is picking up some of these readings, which alludes to actually what Mr. McGucket was talking to earlier. So let me get into that for a bit here. So first of all, McGucket alludes to the apocalypse, the end times. He's speaking about that very, very frantically, you know, trying to tell Dipper that, hey, there's something that's about to go down and you need to know about it. And Dipper's, like, hey, it's a party, let's not talk about this right now. And he's so worried about it. And then he pulls out his laptop and we see this countdown, and then it goes up to that tapestry on the wall that obviously shows a bunch of people bowing down to what is supposed to be Bill Cipher, which, the triangle, the eye, of course, that's what Bill Cipher is. But what's very interesting, first of all, about the date, I've seen it mentioned on the Gravity Falls subreddit as well as 4chan's cartoon board. Multiple times I've seen people saying that the next episode, which has already been announced, is the Stan is Not What He Seems episode. I believe it's called Not What He Seems. That episode is going to be premiering in that amount in 21 days, as similarly how the clock says 21 hours. So very interestingly, it coincides. So was that on purpose or was that just a coincidence? In my experience with Gravity Falls, things are rarely such a coincidence. So keep that in mind in everything. But first of all, McGucket, this is strictly to hype things up. McGucket knows that something is about to happen. He's been doing readings, and something is about to go down, and I believe something is about to go down in the next episode. Now, that's pretty much all I've got to say about that apocalypse part. It's really just that over the periods of time throughout every single, I say every single episode, a lot of these episodes of Gravity Falls, there has been allusion to some sort of big event, some big climax in the Gravity Falls series. And I believe it's about to happen. I believe after this hiatus, they're getting back into it, and it's going to happen very, very quickly. And it's going to center around Stan. And and just, to be honest, I don't really know exactly what it's going to be, but it will involve Bill Cipher. Everything's going to change. It's going to involve something with a shapeshifter. We saw allusion to him earlier when Dipper turned into his wooden form. We saw him turn into the same form that the shapeshifter turned into when he left. So, that's the last form he'll ever take. So that's something that is also needed to be pointed out, and I think it's going to be a very interesting development in the Gravity Falls series. Now, to end off this episode, I did want to just share a few screenshots with you that I made during the episode. Starting with, of course, the paintings in the episode. First of all, the painting of the lumberjack. Very, very interesting that the Northwest family would have this painting, and it seems like paintings are kind of a big point for the Northwest family. Artwork is something that is shown in the episode quite a bit. So first off, there's that painting, and that painting is a haunted painting, as we learn very quickly that as the ghost of the lumberjack comes out in order to make his vengeance on the Northwest family. Now, let's get into this next part. So I do have a few pictures of the book that I will just show on screen now. Just a few different screenshots of the book. Something very interesting about this screenshot of the Dream Hipster, excuse me, actually refers to Rick and Morty, which is Scary Gary is a character on that show. If you haven't seen it, great show, check it out. But that is actually a character on the show that looks a lot like that. He hops in and out of people's dreams kind of situation. It doesn't look exactly like that, but he does have a hand that looks a glove that does have that has some knives are at the end of his fingers. So that is a reference to Rick and Morty. As we do know, Alex Hirsch is friends with the creator of Rick and Morty, so that was kind of a cool allusion there. But just to continue, there are here are a few pictures that I've taken of the book itself. Cool to see Dipper using the black light again. Cool to see him using that a good amount. And that's pretty much it as far as the book goes. Now, as one final thing, I did want to talk about Dipper and Pacifica's relationship and what is kind of interesting about this. So, what has been theorized in the Gravity Falls community of the Dipper and Pacifica kind of, romance shipping, if you will. It's very interesting to see them kind of get to be nicer to each other and, see Pacifica's good nature just like what is in the core of her, as the lumberjack says, you're different than the rest of the Northwest family. It's interesting to see her good-natured side come out a bit and not be such a rich, brat. It's very interesting to see that. So I'm glad that that's something that's going to be taking place. I think it's going to be interesting to see Pacifica and Dipper's dynamic develop. Will Dipper have sort of a romantic thing with her, or will it be merely platonic? That is something that we do not know. So that's something that's very interesting to see, and that's actually about it. I apologize for the rambling in this video, by the way. I just wanted to make sure I said everything. This episode was insane. The codes in it are interesting, very, very allude, especially the Stan is not what he seems. I'm so pumped for this next episode. Really great way to start up this next part of the season, and I can't wait. Such a good episode. Nothing bad to say about it. Fantastic. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, leave a comment if you have anything else you'd like to add. I'll try to reply to as many of them as I can. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more theories, and check out my other channel where I will be posting clips very shortly. So, without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!